Hi everybody, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. In this practice, we're going to get upside down. For our practice today, let me say what we're going to be needing for our upside down practice. You will definitely need a blanket, something soft. We will be supporting our neck and shoulders as we go upside down. What we're practicing is shoulder stand. I'm going to give you some variations of this pose. It's simply just bringing the legs up into the air. And like I said, for soft flow, we'll have several variations of it. But if you decide to go into the full variation of the posture, you might want to have a soft blanket. All right, let's go ahead and take a seat. I'm sitting on a block at the moment, but you can just sit on your blanket or even a pillow. Let's take a few moments just to get into breath. Nice deep breath in, complete breath out. Good. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Just continue with slow, steady breaths here as you take this opportunity to move inside of self and deeply connect with self. Just feeling the breath as it resonates through your entire body. Listen to the sound of your breath. These are just very simple things you can do to be fully present in the moment. Say to yourself, I am here now. I am here now. On your next breath in, feel the breath rising upward, filling up your lungs. So it is a deep, expansive breath, filling up your lungs, and keep that uplifting sensation as you're able. Then exhale, you'll pull or draw your belly button in toward your spine as you connect to your center body. We're engaging the abdominal lock, so you really do feel a sense of support and strength. Again, breathing in, feeling the breath rising, filling up your lungs. And the exhale, draw belly in. We'll do that a few more times. We'll do a few movements together just to get the body warmed up. And then we'll move into our upside down postures. It's beneficial to take the time to lift the legs up into the air, just in case maybe you have some swelling or soreness in your lower limbs, like your calves or ankles, feet. Just to help oxygen and blood flow kind of in an opposite direction. It also gives you a different perspective if you kind of think of things in a very typical way. We're always on our feet and just seeing things in a certain way. So think of going upside down as a way of seeing the world, seeing your community, seeing the things around you in a different way. Let's take 3 more breaths. Good. Let's make a slow transition to our hands and knees. This is where you might want to use your blanket, just for a little extra padding. So join me here for cat and cow. We'll take a breath in and just tip the chin up. Feel as if your heart is moving forward or lifting upward, arching the back, tipping the pelvis back. As you exhale, start with the back end of the body, tilt the pelvis under, feel your belly button pull up towards spine like you did earlier, engaging your core, rounding your spine, chin to chest, just like that. Oh, that feels good. Inhale, tip the pelvis back, belly drops. There's our back bend sensation, heart opens, look up. Exhale, round it all out, chin to chest. And just continue with a slow, steady flow. Wonderful undulation of the spine. Movement and rocking sensation of the pelvis. Meanwhile, hands are just pushing firmly into the floor, keeping your arms straight. Let's finish this breath and take one more. And just return to a neutral tabletop position for a breath. And then we'll transition to our downward facing dog. You can move your blanket to the side for now. Come back to hands and knees, and we'll set up for this next pose. Let's step the hands forward, and as you do so, spread out your fingers so you feel a good stretch between each finger. And then lean into your hands or press your palms flat into the mat, getting a good stretch in your hands and strong straight arms here. Tuck your toes. Perform another cat-cow. So inhale, cow pose. There's our back bend. Exhale into cat, hold cat. Make sure toes are tucked. Hands are pressing firmly into the floor. Then simply lift your knees and send your hips into the air while your head dips between your arms right here. Now, technically, downward facing dog is an inverted posture because your head is down. The only thing that's not up in the air are our legs, and we'll be working towards that. Just doing a little pedaling of the feet, just to get a little stretch in the calves. And then we'll take several steps forward, just until your feet are flat on your mat. You can slide your fingertips towards your toes, and you'll be in a forward fold. Just even hold here for a moment. Another way of being upside down in a way, just having the head down. Then standing up, we'll shift weight into the heels first. Bend your knees to lower your hips. Start lifting upper body, extending upper body. Free your hands, bring hands to thighs. Push into thighs as a way of assisting your own body, standing up nice and tall. Then we'll inhale, take both arms up into the air. Reach. And exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Let's roll the shoulders a little bit. Now, the pose that we are doing is technically called shoulder stand, because we will be kind of resting across the upper back, supporting ourselves with our arms and hands while the legs extend into the air. So you may just want to do a little circle of the shoulders. All right, let's just go through a sun salute. Nice flow of the body as we warm up. Here, take a breath in, reaching into the air. Exhale, let's fold forward, hinging at the hips, soft knees. Guide your way down towards your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees. Rise up halfway. Exhale, slide down all the way. Bend your knees enough to place your hands on your mat out in front of you. And walk or step the feet back into plank pose. Lower the hips so they're at shoulder level. Strong press into the floor with the hands. Strong supportive arms. Keep engaging your core here too. Let's take a breath in. On the exhale, bend the knees slightly. Send your hips into the air. Again, head and chest will sink between the arms. I'm going to adjust my feet a little bit and my hands just to help settle into the pose. Good idea to keep the knees very bent here. That way the hips can continue to lift up. Hands press down into the ground. Just getting some good length through the whole torso. Let's go for our warriors. Inhale, extend right leg up, reach. And exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat or just let it land behind the right hand. We'll turn left heel to the floor behind you. Be sure to shift weight into that foot as if you're standing on that back foot. That way the hands are light, easily able to lift them and reach forward and up. Let's reach into the air. Reach high and lunge. Just getting into our hip flexors here on that left leg. Nice strength building in this front leg. Let's inhale and exhale, open to a warrior two. Make some adjustments with your feet on your mat if you need to. Outstretched arms, nice and tall. Let's take a side angle pose. I'm going to modify this. Reach forward and rotate the arms here, and either bring your hand, or if you're a little lower, maybe your forearm to your thigh. I'm just going to place my hand here while my left hand reaches into the sky. Nice opening of the body. Even send this left hand overhead, reaching, yes, as your arm comes down a bit towards your ear, side of your face. Good extension. Good. Let's breathe in and exhale. Let's turn and fold. Hands to the floor. Let's slide right foot back. Plank pose. Soft knees, hips to sky. Return to downward facing dog. Make some adjustments with feet and hands. Here's our full arrival. And let's do the other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air, straight and strong. So this too is almost like being upside down, especially with the one leg in the air. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, right heel to the earth, shifting weight back, well planted, strong connection. Light hands, feeling balanced. Now and rise up. Settle into your warrior one, facing forward. Inhale, and exhale, open to the side, warrior two. Bringing your arms down to parallel, adjusting your feet. And then our modified side angle. I'll reach forward, rotate the arms. Just going to bring my left hand to left thigh, right hand reaching up. Good opening. And then send right arm overhead as the arm comes down closer to the side of my face. Reach. And as I'm reaching through this right hand, I'm pressing into the floor more firmly with the right foot. So it feels like I'm moving in these opposite directions. Let's take a breath in. And exhale, we'll carefully turn and fold. Free your hands. You can bring your hands to the ground. And then press the hands into the floor. Slide left foot back. Plank pose. Pause for a moment. And we'll come down to our knees. And then sit back briefly into hero. And we'll get set up for our upside down postures. Let's do several variations of this. Let's start by lying down flat, just flat on your mat. Now you could use your blanket for a little pad for your head or even underneath your body if you'd like. When you come down, just go ahead and bend your knees, feet on the floor, and just let your body relax here. Now in standing, I had us engage our core body. We do the same thing here. We'll inhale, exhale, engage our core. Just so we have that support. Then as you're able, we'll extend one leg into the air and then the other. Now your arms are just on the floor, maybe out to the side or just kind of down a little bit, just as a way to help support the body. So this is our first upside down position. I'm lightly flexing the feet, so it feels like my heels are moving up into the air. I'm already feeling a good energy in the legs as they extend upward. Now, even though we're not maybe fully activating your core, it's already automatically happening. You need core strength in order to extend the legs up into the air and hold them up. So your core muscles are engaged here automatically, keeping the legs in the air. All right, so this is one version. Let's go ahead and bend the knees. Let's bring the feet back down to the floor. Feel free to do a little light twist here, a little windshield wiper twist. I'm just sending both knees first to the right, just to relieve the low back and hips a little bit, and then up and over to the other side. Now, I forgot to mention another prop that you'll need is a block or maybe some stacked books for our second version of our shoulder stand. So I'm going to take the block, push feet into the floor, lift hips, and slide the block underneath and sit. right here. Now this could be a very firm cushion like a bolster, or like I said, a couple of blocks or one block. So this might be considered a supportive bridge pose. So you can start here, and then same thing, engaging core, providing that support, and then extend your legs into the air. I really like this version because I feel a little bit more supported. I don't feel like there's much of a strain in my back if I'm sitting on the block. Another thing I like about this pose is that I can sit kind of on the edge of the block, and my legs can naturally kind of go up and over my head a little bit. Just energy and gravity just naturally going that way without me trying to force my legs to go that way. And I get a little extra stretch in the hamstrings. Again, feet lightly flexed, heels reaching for the ceiling. All right, so here's another version of our shoulder stand, or really just legs in the air. 2 more breaths. Again, core is automatically engaged. And then I'll go ahead and bend knees. Carefully bring feet to the floor, relax here. And then press feet into the ground to lift the hips and move the block out of the way. And just pause. You can do that same stretch or twist if you'd like here. I'm going to do a twist and an extension. So I'm just doing a quick twist to both sides. And then extending the legs out front, arms behind. Now we're really moving into shoulder stand here. And here's a variation I typically do. Go ahead and bend the knees again, feet on the floor. You're going to create some momentum in your body. Lifting the feet, bring the knees towards yourself. A little rocking sensation with the legs, forward and back. My arms are bent at 90 degrees, kind of pushing the backs of my arms into the floor. Because I'm going to roll back, press the triceps into the floor so I can get my hips up into the air, and then catch myself in my hands. You can watch first and then join me. Okay, I'm going to do that on an exhale. Here I go, exhaling. Rock, press, lift, and catch. Here. So I'm just sitting in my hands, just like this. So it's almost like sitting on a block, but you're just higher up in the air, which means the legs are higher up. Now my legs are a little looser here, but they are up, and you can see them kind of bent back a little. Now you could flex the feet, energize the legs, even straighten the legs. And see, I'm just sitting in my hands, elbows just on the floor, so I feel propped up. Now we are going to do the third version, but you can stop right here. What's nice about this is that you do have the support of sitting in your own hands, and you still have mobility in the head and neck. Now the next version might put extra pressure on the neck, which may not feel comfortable, and it also can constrict your breathing a little. So that's why we're going to be using a blanket, and I'll show you how to use that. All right, I'm going to bend my knees. I'm kind of rounding my spine and just slowly guiding my way down. There, feet to the floor, lying flat for a moment, taking a breath. All right, I'm going to come up to seated so I can show you how I'm going to set up the blanket. Now, this really depends on the shape of your head and neck. Some have a pretty significant kind of dip, let's say, okay, right through here in that neck area. Some might be a little bit more flat, okay. So you may or may not need the blanket, and depending on how deep that little crevice is, will also depend on how thick you need your blanket. Now, I just have a simple double fold, I guess, here. And you can kind of test things out. Just get a blanket or a towel even, get it across here, because you want it to be nice and level so you have some support and not get compressed in this little divot of the neck area. Let's see if I can show you here. So I've got my blanket running across my mat. I'm going to put my shoulders at the edge of the mat. My head is going to be on the mat behind it here. So I'm lying down, my shoulders are at the edge of the mat, and my head is on the other side. Now I do have a bit of a lift. That's what we're trying to create here, so we can keep this neck portion safe, especially as we go up into the air. Now I feel like I could give one more fold. Let's see if this will work. This might be a little bit too thick, but let's see. That might do it for me right there. I think this might work. Alrighty? Because you want to be able to feel like you're just lying flat and don't feel like your chin is kind of dipping into your chest here or neck. All right, same setup. I'm going to drive my elbows into the floor as I give myself good momentum and rock and get the legs and hips into the air. Moving with breath. Good exhale. Still going to catch myself in my hands. Check this out, okay? So this would be a good test to see if the blanket is helping you or your towel is helping you. And it does for me. It feels pretty good. I have some softness across the shoulders and my neck feels loose. Now to go to the full variation, I'm moving from the sitting in my hands to walking my hands more to my mid-back, which frees the pelvis, which allows me to use some core muscles to extend and lift up even higher. Extending the legs straight up. And here I'm actually pointing my toes to get more energy. Now, because of the support of the blanket across my neck, I have freedom in my head. I don't feel constricted in my breathing. Core is engaged, but you may need to activate a little bit more. So this is a full shoulder stand. One more breath. And I'm going to bend my knees, reposition my hands to my hips, and then slowly roll my way down. Take a moment here for a bit of a rest. Good. You can even extend the arms and legs. You can even add one more twist. So you really don't have to hold those upside down positions too long. Just a few breaths. Come down, rest, and then feel free to repeat them if you want. All right, let's rise to seated. Sitting up nice and tall. Deep breath. And then one last movement together. Inhale, extend your arms out and up. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Take one more breath. And as we come to the close of our practice, we bow together saying, Namaste. If you enjoyed this practice, be sure to give it a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions about this practice or any question about yoga in general, be sure to leave me a comment and I'll be sure to get back to you.